Welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome. If you'll find your places, we're about to continue our celebration. Please stand with me as our Northwestern University singers deliver the national anthem. Singers. They are amazing. Could you please give one more round of applause? Our students are under the direction of Ms. Karsten Longhurst, our Director of Choral Studies and Instructor of Music. The University Singers will continue to share their gift of song with us later. Alumni, family, friends, students, welcome back. Please excuse me if I sound like that I have just run the 2-mile relay because that's where I've run from. We were hosting regionals today in Cherokee. I saw Mr. Stout. I didn't know if he ran over here also, but we are thrilled to be here, and always nice to see Mr. Stout. If you haven't been back to campus in a while, I hope that you find the changes are amazing. I come all the time, and I'm still in awe of what happens at Northwestern. And as always, welcome back to your Northwestern. I'd like to welcome to the podium one of the very biggest reasons that we have such an amazing, amazing university. Our president of Northwestern Oklahoma State University, Ms. Janet Cunningham.
Thank you so much, Donna, and running that race, that's tough. Good evening on behalf of the students, staff, and faculty of Northwestern. It is my pleasure to welcome you to our annual Spring Alumni Reunion. I want to offer a special welcome back to campus to our honored... Oops. Start that sentence again. I want to offer a special welcome back to campus to our honored classes and extend my congratulations to this year's class of distinguished graduates. Each of you has contributed to the success and reputation of Northwestern, and we take great pride in celebrating your contributions. 2 weeks from today, Northwestern will graduate its 120th class. Certainly the world has changed from the time of our first class of graduates in 1899, and students know I was not part of that first class. Remember that. The telegraph has been replaced by smartphones. Airplanes replaced trains as the quickest mode of transportation, and Google replaced the encyclopedia. Yet through the decades, some things remain constant. Today, as they did in 1897, students view education as the path to a better life. For hundreds of students each year, that path begins at Northwestern. Since before statehood, our commitment to serve this state and region has never wavered. From preparing teachers for one-room territorial schoolhouses to educating nurse practitioners who will change the face of rural healthcare, Northwestern has always been leading the way in improving the quality of life in Northwest Oklahoma. Currently, 21% of our undergraduate student population are the first in their families to attend college. Today, our graduates serve at the highest levels of business and industry, government, medicine, education, and agriculture. This year's class of distinguished graduates reinforces this tradition of excellence. Learn today, lead tomorrow is not simply our motto, it is our hallmark. And while the national narrative, and sometimes the state narrative as well, is one of questioning the value of higher education, exploding student debt, and indoctrination of students into a certain ideology, it is simply not the case at Northwestern. As an alumnus, I take great pride in the work we do each and every day, and you should share in that pride as well. Another distinctive characteristic of Northwestern has been the extraordinary support received from our alumni, friends, and supporters. Much of the success of the university is owed to those who have supported our students through the years in a myriad of ways. 5 years ago, we began work on the Imagine Northwestern campaign. Much of that work occurred behind the scenes until 2 years ago, when we entered the public phase of this effort. Campaigns are oftentimes focused on goals and fundraising totals instead of outcomes. In a moment, I will reveal the amount of money raised and pledged during this campaign, but the impact of your gifts is far more important. We asked you to imagine academic excellence, and your support allowed us to create the Doctor of Nursing Practice program, which will help improve access to health care across Oklahoma, particularly in rural areas of the state that do not have enough primary care providers. Our academic programs and faculty are stronger through the creation of 30 new endowed chairs, 13 new endowed lectureships, and 1 new professorship. We asked you to imagine the campus of tomorrow, and you responded with new learning spaces to begin work in robotics, to provide inspiration and training to students for the jobs of tomorrow. We created a literacy center and early childhood education lab in the School of Education to provide students with real-life classroom experiences. We also enhance learning spaces in the arts and in other areas to provide students with spaces that are conducive to learning and teaching. In a few weeks, we will begin renovation of the Fine Arts Building, our oldest academic building, in fact, the oldest building on campus, with nearly 300 new windows to be installed and other improvements to be made to the interior and exterior of the building. Your giving has allowed us to improve athletic facilities, successfully preparing us for our move into the NCAA Division II, with projects including the Dean Linder press box, turf on Ranger Field, the Dunning Performance Center, and strength training facilities for both men's and women's sports. Finally, we ask you to support Transforming Lives, and your support of the Imagine Northwestern campaign led to the creation of 42 new scholarship endowments that will make the difference to students being financially able to attend Northwestern. When we began our campaign, we were told we could raise $20 million. In fact, I wanted to leave it at 15, but we started at 20. You said to imagine greater things, and the goal was raised to $25 million. Once again, what you imagined for Northwestern was more, and the goal was pushed to $28 million. Even I was a little skeptical at that point, but tonight I am pleased to announce that we have exceeded our final goal of and there it is. What you have accomplished through this campaign is nothing short of amazing. I am so proud of the work of my staff, the foundation, and alumni staff, and those who volunteered significant time and effort during the past 5 years. This campaign challenged all of us to rediscover the impact that Northwestern has had on our lives and to recommit ourselves to sharing this experience with future generations. We are a stronger university than we were 5 years ago. Capital needs remain, including they always remain forever and ever. We never stop. Including the renovation of the campus mall, which you will hear more about later tonight. But for now, we celebrate our success. I will close tonight by expressing my heartfelt gratitude for your support of Northwestern. Thank you, and Ride Rangers Ride.
Thank you again, Dr. Cunningham. Absolutely, one of the highlights of our university. Tonight we have a very special dinner planned for everyone. Dinner will be served at your table, and offering our invitation this evening is Brady Marston, pastor of the Church of the Nazarene in Alba.
Let's pray. Dear Lord, creator of all things, seen and unseen, source and standard of all truth, and generous giver of knowledge to us, your creation, we thank you for all your bountiful blessings. This evening, we especially thank you for Northwestern Oklahoma State University. We thank you for over 120 years of proud history as an institution of higher learning. We thank you for the impact this school has had on tens of thousands of students, shaping them into leaders in their communities. Thank you for the impact Northwestern has had upon the community of Alba as a cornerstone of civic life that has grown up with this fair city. Thank you for the impact the school has had upon the global community as graduates have brought their knowledge, experience, and training home with them or have moved to new places to become leaders in their many diverse fields. We pray a special blessing upon the school administrators. Grant them the wisdom and discernment as they plot the course for the future. Bless the staff as they work with dedication to keep the school running. Bless the faculty as they shape the students here and prepare them for a life of leadership. May they not only educate, but challenge, shape, and inspire. Bless Northwestern students, especially as they move into finals. Give them teachable spirits and equip them to find and fulfill your plans for their futures. We thank you for these students who are being honored tonight. Thank you for the extraordinary gifts and graces you have given them, and we ask that you continue to bless them as they move on from this institution. Continue to bless Northwestern. We thank you for the impact, achievements, and excellence of the past, and we trust that her best days are ahead. Please bless us here tonight as we reconnect and remember. Grant us fun and fellowship. Bless us with laughter as we continue to strengthen our bonds to one another. We thank you for this food we are about to eat. Please bless the hands that have prepared it. Bless the food. May it give us enjoyment and nourishment as we continue to serve you. in the all-powerful name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Wasn't dinner amazing? Thank you guys so much. So incredibly impressed with the little chocolate. I have no question on it. Yes. I'd like to introduce the wonderful individuals who prepared and delivered this beautiful meal for us. First, show your appreciation to Cartwell, our caterer. I was told at dinner that they bring in chefs and here to Northwestern and their colleagues that came with them from out of town to provide this spectacular dinner. So thank you. Amazing. Thank you. Also, I want to recognize the student athletes from our soccer, football, men and women's basketball teams. They not only served our meal tonight, they came in yesterday to assist the caterers in dressing the tables. Please show your appreciation to our remarkable students. I also want to take this time to recognize some of the students who have served to make your day enjoyable. Northwestern Scholar Ambassadors and members of the President's Leadership Class have given campus tours, transported our guests on golf course, and helped get you to your seats tonight. I'm going to ask each one to stand as I call their name, and we'll applaud at the end. Colton Booty, Bill Stand, Alyssa Frost, Tyler Berryhill, Mason Monsees, and Ethan Sackett. One of those guys got me here. I didn't have to put the heels up. Well, I'm so glad. Members of the President's Leadership Class are Kaylee Brown, Lane Scarborough, and Hannah Mossberg. We'll give them a really big round of applause. I was so complimentary, too, on the golf cart. He said, "Just doing my job, ma'am." Thanks. They're some of our promising alumni tomorrow. Please show them one more time some appreciation. We're fortunate tonight to have our Student Senate President, J.C. Bales. She's an elementary education major from Morrison and is set to graduate next month. Please join me in welcoming J.C. Bales.
It's a unique privilege getting to speak to you tonight. My own mother is one of the graduates that is being recognized as we celebrate her class of 1994. For as long as I can remember, any story that my parents told me about their time in college, people they knew or people they played with, or a basketball game against Southwestern that they watched right in the gym, it had something to do with Northwestern. For example, I remember the first time I met Dr. Pickey. It was at the 2015 PLC dinner before our trip to Boston, and he asked me who my parents were. Luckily, they prepped me enough to be able to pronounce his name correctly, but they also mentioned the fact that he wasn't Dr. Pickey when they were here. And still, after 25 years, my parents still boo the Bulldogs, swear by Taco Village, and still wonder if Rialto Pops are 50 cents during happy hour. As I began looking for a college to attend, I quickly found there wasn't anywhere I'd rather be than right here in Alva, Oklahoma at Northwestern Oklahoma State University. From what I've learned, my graduating class is like many other graduating classes being recognized here tonight. We're close, we've supported each other, whether it be at a sporting event, vocal or band concert, or a club event, and we've stuck together through the good times and the bad. The graduating class of 2019 is leaving ready to serve our communities as educators, nurses, law enforcement officers, therapists, accountants, business owners, and many other careers. Our graduating class has been a part of many winning traditions, broken records, laughs, cries, and the first Starbucks in Northwest Oklahoma. During my time here, I've had the opportunity to meet several people that I would like to thank. First, I would like to thank my advisor, Dr. Kristi Riley, for guiding me and helping me navigate through my degree path for the last 4 years. Next, my Student Government Association sponsors, Caleb Mossberg, Kaylin Hansen, and Olivia Yandel, for all the encouragement, guidance, and support they've given me, because without them, I wouldn't have been able to serve and give back to the students here. And finally, I want to thank Dr. Janet Cunningham. The most valuable lesson I learned came from a subway station in Boston, Massachusetts. It was there that 12 freshmen would sing the Northwestern fight song by her request. She exemplified the pride and the love of this great institution from which I'm about to receive my bachelor's degree. I am proud to be a 2019 graduate of Northwestern Oklahoma State University, and I'll be ready to put my degree next to anyone's. As always, Ride Rangers Ride. Thank you.
Thank you, JC. We are going to ask Rodney Duncan to come to the stage. Make your way now, please. Rod is a 1963 graduate of Northwestern, and he has spent the last 6 years on the Northwestern Alumni Board of Directors, most recently as the board's vice president. He has been the chair of the Outstanding Graduate Committee for several years, poring over multiple nomination packets. Rod, in recognition of all that you have contributed to the Northwestern community and on behalf of your friends on the Northwestern Alumni Board, Donna will present to you a plaque commemorating your Ranger loyalty. Thank you, Rod, for all that you have done. Next, I'm going to introduce the nominee for next year's Board of Directors, Shonda Dees. Shonda, please stand. She's in the back of the room. Shonda is a 2014 graduate and resides here in Alabama. Welcome to the board, Shonda. Tonight, we have several past outstanding graduates sharing the evening with us. I will announce their names and ask them to stand, and then I will ask you to hold your applause until the end. In the business category, Dr. Dennis Wiggin. Somewhere in here. There he is. In the education category, Rodney Duncan again, Dr. Stephen Payton, and Dr. Jim Stringer. In the humanitarian category, John Barton. And in the Ranger Spirit category, Angela Case, Valerie Case, Thelma Crouch, Linda Tutwiler, Judy Wagamont, and Phyllis Brunstetter. Please recognize our former outstanding graduates with your applause. Earlier this afternoon, we also recognized a number of individuals in an awards ceremony. Dr. Lee Kirby is an assistant professor of psychology and the interim chair of the Department of Psychology. Dr. Kirby, would you please stand? There she is. Dr. Kirby was presented with the John Sheffield Teacher of the Year Award, which is selected by the Northwestern student body. Congratulations, Dr. Kirby, and thank you for all you do, making an impact on our students. Next, several students who are set to graduate in 2 weeks, or who graduated in December, received various awards which are listed in your program, and some of them have joined us for dinner. Please hold your applause as I announce their names and ask them to stand and remain standing. First, we have J.C. Bales, Cheney Bird, Kevin Cosper, Brittany Cadworth, Caitlin Evans, Shaylin Barrington, Powana Itani, Megan Meharry, Macy Malone, Jacqueline Parker, Taryn Robinson, Jacqueline Ruhl, Darcy Sander, Kelsey Shumpert, Mary Schaefer, and J.C. Wells. Please give them a round of applause for all of their accomplishments. An important part of today was set aside to recognize the honored classes of 1949, 1959, 1969, and 1994. Alumni traveling from Oklahoma, Kansas, Arkansas, and Texas were presented their commemorative pins in an earlier ceremony. While our recognition and our appreciation of these honored alumni continue tonight. With the classmates from the honored class of 1949, please stand and be recognized. Next will the honored class of 1959 stand and be recognized. Will the honored class of 1969 stand and be recognized? And finally, will the honored class of 1994 stand and be recognized? Tonight, we also honor individuals whose accomplishments in career and life lend vibrant color and richness to the fabric of Northwestern. They represent the best of the Ranger, bearing the legacy of extraordinary accomplishments in their careers and in their personal lives. On behalf of the Northwestern Oklahoma University Alumni Board, I am pleased to introduce to you our 2019 Outstanding Graduates. Pablo Picasso once said, "To draw, you must close your eyes and sing." Dixie Friend Gay is known for bringing her voice, her heart, and her soul to the art she creates. And in line with Picasso's quote, her vast repertoire is robust, diverse, and engaging. She is inspired by the reverence for the mystery and primordial energy of the natural world. But before all of this, Dixie was raised on a cattle ranch west of Freedom, Oklahoma. She entered Northwestern as a math and science major. However, the passion of art was so strong that she soon changed her major to art education. And she graduated in 1975 as the first in her family to do so. The isolation of ranch life created a longing for a place filled with people. And Dixie certainly found that place when she moved to New York City. She was soon visiting art galleries and showing her work to gallery curators. She honed her gifts and mastered the genres of sculpture, painting, mosaics, and drawings. Her work has been honored with dozens of awards. She has completed more than 30 commissioned projects, and her work has been shown in more than 175 exhibitions worldwide. She was honored by the Texas Legislature as Texas Artist of the Year in 2003, the first woman ever to receive that recognition. Dixie, now living in Houston, has been called a rock star in the field of mosaic public art. In 2017, she completed Books of a Feather, an outdoor installation of 3 mosaic bird sculptures ranging from 12 to 15 feet high at the Allison Young Neighborhood Library in Houston. Dixie is currently working on a mosaic wall for the new Charlotte, North Carolina airport, a 15,000-pound Cortan steel sculpture for a park in Fort Worth, and 2 projects to be installed by the city of Austin. Dixie has said, "The easy part for me is being in the studio. The hard part is stopping and eating or going to the grocery store." Dixie, your rest tonight is well earned, and on behalf of the friends here in this room, we thank you for sharing your gift and your passion with the world. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the 2019 Outstanding Graduate for Arts, Dixie Friend Gay.
John asked me to keep it short. He said no more than 3 to 5 minutes, so I'm going to have to go through this twice if I'm going to meet that goal. Thank you. I'm honored and I'm grateful for the education that I received here. Those of you that are first-generation students know that the distance between your home and college is greater than a flight to China. My dad told me I could do anything I wanted to do, and from my parents, I learned tenacity and to visualize a better future, to appreciate the beauty of the earth, to find joy in my work, and to cherish family and friends. My cousins, Jim and Debbie, they helped me write my application, and they're here with me tonight, and I really appreciate them. I had goals to move to New York City, to travel the world, to make my living as an artist. Growing up on the ranch, I thought at times I had been dropped there by aliens. We used to watch the UFOs. But gifted professors here offered an expanded world. I grew up with the one good book, and here I developed a love of literature that continues to inspire and enrich my life. And the skills that I learned here in the arts department are incorporated in my work every day. I did move to New York City, and it's a city of misfits, and for the first time I fit in. Once walking down Broadway with all the beautiful people, I felt empowered that I might be the only one here on this street that knew how to pull a calf or milk a cow. Since 1989, I've lived in Houston, a hub city with direct flights around the world. My studio and home were flooded in Harvey, and I hope to rebuild them this summer. My work requires me to present to planning boards and politicians, but it's my blue-collar roots that enable me to feel at ease on a construction site where I install my mosaics. I'm grateful for the inspiring classes here, where I learn to define myself and defend my point of view. I'm grateful for the education that helped me move beyond the dusty horizon. Thank you.
It doesn't take a person long to discover the authenticity, the integrity, and the genuine niceness of our 2019 Outstanding Graduate in the Business Professional category. I first met Darell Ney in 2016 on our Union campus, and I immediately thought, this is what others refer to as someone who is the salt of the earth. Darell is the kind of person my parents would call good people, and he never disappoints. Darell grew up on the family farm, which he still owns outside Carrier, Oklahoma. He came to Northwestern on a 4-year basketball scholarship and a 4-year baseball scholarship. His success on the Northwestern baseball team led him to being signed to play baseball for the Pittsburgh Pirates farm team. After graduation, Darell taught school and coached in Jefferson, Oklahoma before joining the Army in 1956. He and his wife Gladys eventually moved to Waxahachie, Texas, where they had established the Ney Company the year before in 1962. Headquarters for the Ney Company is housed in a historic train depot that Darell restored. The Ney Company builds grain elevators, feed mills, feedlots, and facilities, as well as commercial buildings in Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, and Arkansas. The continued success of the company is possibly due to Darell's goal of establishing solid friendships with his clients. And it must be working, as much of the Ney Company business is repeat business. After 56 years, the business is still going strong under the leadership of this ranger. Darell and Gladys believe in giving back to the community, and he understands the value of an education. He has shared with me that one of his favorite memories of Northwestern is walking across the stage to receive his diploma as the first person in his family to do so. Darell continues in the true spirit of philanthropy and provides the opportunity for education through scholarships. I am honored to present the 2019 Outstanding Graduate in the Business Professional category, my friend, Darell V.
Thank you so much for being here, and John, thank you for asking me, and I certainly appreciate the honor of the alumni committee and the group that put me here. I'm most grateful, and John, I want to thank you personally for giving me this opportunity, and thank you, folks.
Our outstanding graduate in education has been described as the consummate educator who teaches both inside and outside the classroom, always looking for techniques to help every child find success in learning at their individual level. Growing up in Fargo, Oklahoma, Kristi Goff recalls encouragement from others that she could be anything she wanted to be when she grew up. And she always responded, "I want to be a teacher." Well, often they would laugh and they would say, "No, do something else with your life." Well, with the everlasting encouragement of her third grade teacher, Kristi persevered toward her dream and came to Northwestern, earning her bachelor's degree in education in 1994. And while here, she was active in the Aggie Club, the Student Education Association, and intramurals, and she fondly remembers working at the campus bookstore. After graduation, she began her teaching career and taught in several Oklahoma communities, eventually making her way back to her hometown of Fargo as a 7th and 8th grade teacher in the Fargo Gage public school system. Kristi likens her teaching philosophy to a line from the movie Field of Dreams: "If you will build it, they will come." Kristi designs her classroom environment as one that students will find a way to learn, and one where they can be successful on their own individual level. She maintains an open-door policy with her students that brings trust, candor, direct communications, and guidance to her relationships. Many of her former students continue to call her Mama Goff. In 2005, Kristi faced the diagnosis of gastroparesis, an incurable condition that affects the stomach muscles. Her husband, Michael, has shared that in spite of the pain and the frustration caused by the disease, Kristi remains committed, even on the toughest of days, to her students and to their success. The words of others are, "This lady, this teacher, this wife, and this mother, she doesn't miss a beat." And Kristi, I have to say, has rightly influenced their son, Hunter, as he is a junior here at Northwestern. Ranger family and friends, please join me in celebrating the 2019 Outstanding Graduate in Education, Kristi Goff.
Well, I am totally out of my element with all of you guys. I'm used to looking at children. And first of all, I want to say thank you to the alumni board and everyone and Dr. Cunningham for hosting this event. And the day John called me, I think I questioned him several times. Are you sure I won this award? Are you sure? Are you sure? And he kept reassuring me, yes, you did. Yes, you did. And I still didn't believe him. In fact, it took the official letter to coming in the mail that I actually believed it. And I haven't even told hardly anybody because I still don't even think I truly believe this. it's just not something that I'm used to doing. Most of the time I'm giving back to somebody else and I'm not used to giving it myself. So this is truly an honor. And like John had said, in 2000, I can't even remember, about 5 years ago, I was diagnosed with a disease called gastroparesis. And I truly believe that this disease and my students have saved my life. I was on my weakest points, and my will to live came from my students. They encouraged me, they helped me, and they gave me compassion as I taught them compassion, I hope. So I dedicate this award to them, and as they're celebrating their prom tonight without me, hopefully they're doing a great job and they've done everything that I've told them to do. So I dedicate this award to my students. I also would like to thank my husband and my son for being my rocks. They've guided me, they've directed me, and they've protected me. Thank you.
Sharing a passion for service has been a standard for the couple we are honoring tonight as outstanding graduates in the Humanitarian category. But it was sharing a passion for the sciences that first brought Tom and Margaret Melander together at Northwestern. While other couples who met at Northwestern recall dates at the Rialto Theater on the square or enjoying a hamburger and soft drink at the Sonic Drive-In, Tom says it wasn't unusual for him to drive down a country road near the Salt Plains with Margaret holding an insect net out the passenger side window, collecting specimens for their Northwestern lab classes. Spent a lot of money on those dates, didn't you, Tom? Their Northwestern journey included Tom joining the Ranger football team and Margaret, a gifted pianist, accompanying the Rangerettes, Northwestern's women's vocal ensemble at the time. Margaret also carries the distinction of being the first woman to receive Northwestern's John F. Kennedy Award. They both graduated in 1976, with Margaret earning a degree in natural science and Tom with a double major in biology and business administration. After graduation and marriage, Tom entered the field of computers for Conoco in Ponca City, and Margaret stepped into the classroom to teach science in nearby Tonkawa. One of Margaret's students was our own Skeeter Bird, CEO of the Northwestern Foundation and Alumni Association. And I have worked to get some good out of Margaret, but she said he was a good student. So she must have scared him or something. So. Their careers eventually moved the Melanders to Denver, Colorado. Tom remaining in the world of information technology, and Margaret stepping out of the classroom to eventually co-own her own court reporting business. In 2006, Tom and Margaret learned about Global Refuge International, a nonprofit organization that provides emergency relief and medical services to those fleeing from war. Tom eventually served as chairman of the board of directors, and he traveled on several mission trips around the world, and Margaret joined him on one to Africa. They also became involved with the Lost Boys of Sudan, survivors of the exodus from Sudan to Ethiopia and Kenya during the Second Sudanese War that lasted from 1983 to 2005. They met and befriended Iraq Garang, one of the Lost Boys, and assisted Iraq in restructuring his Seeds of South Sudan organization, which rescues South Sudan refugee orphans so that they can receive education in Kenyan boarding schools. Yet with all of this humanitarian activity in their lives, another opportunity, as they often refer to it, was about to be handed to them. In May of 2011, Margaret was given the diagnosis of Parkinson's disease. Tom, understandably, was shaken to the core. Margaret, or typical Margaret, as Tom refers to her, said, "Tom, let's go golfing." And golfing they went. The diagnosis was met with their strong faith, determination to make a difference, and the will to continue serving others. Together, Tom and Margaret decided how to fight the disease so that others could benefit from their experience. Margaret has participated in 10 clinical trials, and Tom has participated in 5. She became active in the Parkinson Association of the Rockies, meeting and supporting individuals who have been recently diagnosed. Perhaps their take on life is best summed up in Margaret's favorite scripture. Romans 8:28. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, I am humbled and I am honored to present to you our 2019 Outstanding Graduates in the Humanitarian category, Tom and Margaret Melander.
Margaret and I would like to sincerely thank the Alumni Association for this year's Humanitarian Award. Northwestern has given us so much in our lives. Northwestern gave us a safe place to grow up after leaving home, a quality education so that we could have a great future, a chance to prove ourselves and develop confidence in what we could accomplish, a place to develop lifelong values and friends. Northwestern gave us a place to meet our life's partner, supporting each other during the highest of highs, and someone that we could cry with while we went through those challenging times. Our Northwestern education gave us opportunities in life to have experiences that we would make us ask ourselves, how can you not? Like when you're in northern Uganda, where modern medicine has never been, and there are witch doctors watching your every move. When you're standing there looking at people to decide which of them would receive medical treatment that day. And you have 4 mothers holding their babies in your face saying, please take my baby to America with you. Or you look into the sad eyes of young men and women barely in their teens who are forced to kill their own parents in order to survive, only to be taken to become child soldiers for the LRA. Should you be involved with this new organization called Global Refuge International? How can you not? Or one day when you meet a very special young man named Darell, one of the lost boys of Sudan, who after his parents were killed when he was only 7, survived by walking over 2,000 miles along with 13,000 other children over a 2-year period, sometimes eating only every other day and seeing many of his peers die along the way. Iraq, who spent the next 10 years in a Kakuma refugee camp and received an education while he was sitting on the ground using his fingers to write in the dirt, and now has a college degree in economics from the University of Colorado. Iraq, who is trying to personally build a program to retrieve children out of that same refugee camp so that they could go on to a better place and get a quality education and have hope, but was struggling to keep his dream alive and desperately needed your help. So you helped him build a nonprofit organization called Seeds of South Sudan. Iraq, who 9 years later has now provided for the education of 102 children, including 2 who are now in medical school and 2 more in seminary. And during all this time, he has been working 2 to 3 jobs in order to support his life's purpose. So you do it. How can you not? And now it hits home. It's not Africa or some other faraway place. It comes knocking on your door. She answers the door, and it's Parkinson's disease. Her life, as she knows it, has dramatically changed. So for the next 8 years, instead of sitting back, she becomes a warrior instead of a victim. She leads a support group for people who have been newly diagnosed and need to see a living example of hope. She participates in clinical trials in the hope that a cure can be found. She meets with doctors to help them better understand what this disease is all about. How can she not? And when the love of your life, your soulmate, your rock, when she needs your help, your love, your help, your understanding, and your support to fight this disease, and when this amazing person needs you to be her rock, You fulfilled the promise you made your bride 42 years ago. You do it. How can you not?
Tom and I didn't plan to be involved in all these things, but life just happens. And God puts you in places that you never intended to be and doing things you never intended to do. So you just do it. How can you not?
We want to sincerely thank our school, Northwestern Oklahoma State University, and the Alumni Association for this great award. We are greatly humbled. Thank you for being a major part of our lives and our hope for a great future and a life worth living. Thank you.
The outstanding graduate in the Ranger recognition category came to Northwestern from his native São Paulo, Brazil. Felipe Eichenberger played varsity on the Ranger basketball team all 4 years, and he recalls his fondest memory as a Ranger was beating Oklahoma City University, not once, but twice. Felipe also shared that his largest disappointment was losing in the conference play in Kansas City, knowing that the Rangers should have won. He also remembers with great fondness the generosity and concern that the residents of Alva provided to him. He specifically noted the amazing carrot cake that Yvonne Kelkor would offer him, a cake he described as not one short layer like they make in Brazil, but many, many, many layers. After graduation in 2009, Felipe eventually moved to the Denver area and introduced himself to Steve Hess, the strength and conditioning coach for the Denver Nuggets. Felipe shared that he called Hess every day for 3 months, hoping to find a door into the Nuggets organization. His persistence eventually began to pay off when Hess asked him to interview for a position at his gym in the Denver area. This opportunity finally led to the position of Associate Head Strength and Conditioning Coach in April 2016, before being named the Head Strength and Conditioning Coach for the Nuggets organization in 2017. He is responsible for the team's weight training, conditioning, and nutrition programs. Felipe could not join us this evening as the Nuggets are preparing for a 8 o'clock Denver time playoff game against the San Antonio Spurs in Denver, but he is definitely here in spirit and in video.
My name is Felipe Eichenberger, class of 2009, and sorry I cannot be with you guys right now, but I'm in the run for the title over here with the Denver Nuggets, where I am the strength and conditioning coach, and I'm thankful for the outstanding graduate prize that I'm receiving from Northwestern. My time in Northwestern was the most amazing time. Coming from Brazil, going to Northwestern was well received by everyone. And I'm thankful for everybody that received me well and helped me go through my college degree. A lot of things that I learned in Northwestern, I'm using right now in my profession and with my family and my life. The times that I played 4 years basketball in Northwestern was great. Fans were great. Everybody was just great people. I keep in touch with a lot of people in Northwestern, and I'm just so thankful for everybody that ever helped me. From working at the Wellness Center for 3 years of my college career, to the Student Center, working at the Student Center, and just being around Alva. That's a really good school. And I'm thankful for everything that they've done for me. Right Rangers, right.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give our 2019 outstanding graduates another round of Ranger appreciation. I now have the honor of presenting Skeeter Bird, our Chief Executive Officer of the Northwestern Foundation and Alumni Association. Skeeter has led this organization since 2005. Please join me in welcoming Skeeter Bird.
Just for the record, I was a good student in chemistry. Margaret and I have never been able to call her, it's really hard for me to call her Margaret, it's always Mrs. Melander, but she was a phenomenal chemistry teacher. I didn't realize how good that was until I started hearing the stories from other students, that the difference. I don't know why we didn't blow up that chemistry flame, because she kept us right on the edge the whole time, but I learned so much and I still retain a lot of that today. Dr. Cunningham talked about the CAPLA campaign, and I want to say that I'm forever grateful for the opportunity to be part of that comprehensive CAPLA campaign, the first one for Northwestern. It was educational, interesting, and an incredibly rewarding experience. And I want to echo Dr. Cunningham's thank you to everyone that made this campaign possible. I want to thank the donors, 4,003 of them that made it work. I also want to thank the volunteers, the students, the staff, the faculty from this university, and the Foundation Alumni Association that were willing to dream big and work hard to make our success possible. Now, there's a small group of volunteers I'm going to single out, and I want to introduce individually. And these are unpaid members of our steering committee. These brave souls signed up for an unspecified time of enlistment for an unspecified goal. You don't see that since World War II, and we're grateful they were a part of this. These volunteers started with us on November 14th. That was our first meeting in 2014. And they've been meeting with us monthly until April. And they made this campaign successful. Pat Headley, would you please stand up? She was a co-chair. And Joe Shirley he's not here tonight, but he was also. Please give her a round of applause. Kenny Fellers was with us. Warren and Beverly Little. Are they here? I didn't see them. Okay. Terry and Senator Rowland Peterson, please stand up. Now, Senator Peterson was not Senator Peterson when we hired him, but he is now. I want to thank you personally. It was great to serve with you on a mission that's much greater than any of us, the future of Northwestern. Now, as you might imagine, there was some stress during this campaign, and my life has always been chock full of at the last minutes. So you'd think I'd be accustomed to that, but I'm not. I still don't like that. I like to have the plan done and wait for things to go wrong, but that didn't really work out for us. We were going just gangbusters. The funds were coming in, and then the tax law changes. And the spigot turned off for about 9 months. And when that happens, you never know when it's going to come back on. Fortunately, it was only 9 months. But still, we hit January, and we were still $2 million short of our goal. And we planned to announce at this event. That created a couple of gray hairs that I didn't have when I started out, and Dr. Cunningham could probably speak to that as well. We hit April. We were still $200,000 short and had no idea where that was going to come in. April 11th, 2 weeks, 2 days, and we're still $40,000 short of our goal. And on April 12th, we have surpassed that goal by $200,000. I lost track of what climbed after that because I was just wanted to get to $28 million. Dr. Cunningham mentioned this earlier, and it is true. We've had multiple conversations over the years, and she has never, ever, we've been working together 14 years, she's never said, hey, Skeeter, we've got enough money, you can back off now, and I don't expect that to ever happen. So, even though the capital campaign's over, there are so many needs, so many students that we can help. And what we're going to share this evening is a vision of the next big thing. And this video, which you're about to watch, came together 3:30 yesterday afternoon. We started on it in December, and through no fault of anybody's, it just came together at the last possible moment. So with that, Haley, if you'll catch the lights. Jeremy, please run the video.
For more than 80 years, the University Mall has served as the heart of Northwestern's campus. Countless students, faculty, staff, and alumni have strolled across these walkways. Walkways built as part of the Works Projects Administration created during the Great Depression. So many memories have been made out in this mall. Red suds in the fountain, a freshman's first collegiate kiss, friends met in front of the J.W. Martin Library. Yet with all of these wonderful memories, a current stroll quickly demonstrates the need to revitalize this public space. It is time to rebuild this area into a source of pride that so much of our campus has become. Our wish is for every potential and current student to look at our campus mall with the same pride and enthusiasm they have when they walk across the stage to receive their diplomas at graduation. Our local community, advocates for Northwestern, deserves this mall as a personal place of joy and relaxation at the foot of our wonderful academic buildings. We envision our university mall communicating the sense of pride we have as a Ranger. This project cannot occur without your support. For this renovation to occur, it will take every one of us to do our part. This venture provides an opportunity at so many levels for each of us to step forward and say, I love being a Ranger and I love my campus. This is a project that will allow every one of us to take our own campus stroll and say, I did this. Please join us in this investment to make our university mall the place for future generations to make lifelong memories. Contact the Northwestern Foundation and Alumni Association to find out how you can be a part of our next great Ranger Renaissance. Ride, Rangers, ride.
If you're a Ranger, please give me a round of applause. That's our next big dream. And the cool thing about this video is Nick Perkins here? Allison, where are you? Allison, please stand up. One of our own students, with the assistance of Allison Zimmerman, actually created that video. Allison's an instructor of mass communication, and they put this video together for us. Please give her a round of applause. And if you get a chance to meet Nick, we just found Nick. He's a senior, and we're really disappointed that he's graduating. Amazing young man. If you talk to him, you think he'd be very good on a tractor, but you never would think he'd be that good on video. He's amazing. Roy Easley, our architect, created the architectural visuals, and this was the first time he'd ever done that too, so there were a lot of firsts for us. Now it's my pleasure. You all may start moving to your places. The University Singers, once again, under the direction of Karsten Longhurst, are going to give us a little pleasure. I invite you to sit back, listen, and absorb the music of these wonderful young people. At the same time, feel free to imagine how you and your family can leave your mark on this university. If something comes to mind, you know how to find us. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Imagination, take a look. I've got shoes.
You got shoes. All God's children got shoes.
Hallelujah, Lord.
When I get to heaven, gonna put on my shoes. I'm gonna walk all over God's heaven. 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 Everybody's talking about it. Heaven, you're going there. Heaven. Heaven. I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna sing. I'm gonna walk all over God's heaven.
I got a song.
You got a song. All God's children got a song. When I get to heaven, gonna sing in your song. I'm gonna sing all over God's heaven.
Lordy,
Heaven.
Lordy,
Heaven.
hallelujah, Lord.
Everybody's talking about it. Heaven, you're going there. Heaven.
Lordy,
Heaven. I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna sing. I'm gonna sing all over God's heaven.
I got a crown.
You got a crown. All God's children got a crown. When I get to heaven, gonna put on my crown. I'm gonna shout all over God's heaven.
Lordy,
Heaven.
Lordy,
Heaven.
hallelujah, Lord.
Everybody's talking about it. Heaven, you're going there. Heaven.
Lordy,
Heaven.
I'm gonna walk
All over.
I'm gonna talk
All over.
I'm gonna sing
All over.
I'm gonna shout
All over. Walk all over God's heaven.
Well, I got wings.
You got wings. All God's children got wings.
Hallelujah, Lord.
When I get to heaven, gonna put on my wings. I'm gonna fly all over God's heaven.
Lordy,
Heaven.
Lordy,
Heaven.
hallelujah, Lord.
Everybody's talking about it. Heaven, you're going there. Heaven.
Lordy,
Heaven.
I'm gonna walk
All over.
I'm gonna talk
All over.
I'm gonna sing
All over.
I'm gonna shout
All over.
I'm gonna walk
All over.
I'm gonna talk
All over.
I'm gonna sing
All over.
I'm gonna shout
All over. All over. All over. All over. All over. Walk all over God's heaven.
Please join us in the singing of the alma mater if you'd like. It's in your program. Back in the program.
Our devotion
Wow, aren't they great? I just get lost in their singing. I think they're just wonderful. Let's give them another round of applause. Friends, please feel free to leave your name tags on the place before you, and so that we may use them again at another event. This has been a wonderful day and a wonderful night. We hope that you have enjoyed it as much as we have. Safe travels and good night.